Am I live? I think I'm live. Okay. Hello. Welcome to my second ever live. And today I'm going to be talking about my regrets from my 1 year of solo travel. So obviously, traveling the world is incredible, but not everything went great. And also I definitely have a few regrets. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my regrets from solo traveling the world for a year. Let me fix this really quick. I'm still waiting on my new light to come, and I'm still waiting on my new microphone to come. So let's see, is that better? Let me check. Let me go a little bit this way. I mean, I should have figured this out beforehand, but okay. All right. Let me get my little handy dandy notes here. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be telling you all of the regrets that I have from when I solo traveled the world for 1 year. There are a lot of regrets, honestly. Unfortunately, there are quite a few regrets that I wish I would have done, things I would have done or said, or places I would have gone to. And I'm just going to chat about those because, I mean, I don't know if it's really helpful to have regrets. Really, you know, like in the grand scheme of things, if you're trying to better yourself, I don't know. I don't think it's helpful to like dwell on regrets, but I think it's okay to acknowledge them and then learn from them. So that's why I'm making this video, because I'm gonna chat about them. And like I said in the last video, I process a lot of my travels and things by making videos from them. So this is what we're doing. Let's see, we're gonna be going through, I'm gonna be processing my regrets with you guys. So, all right, so I wrote down a couple notes of the things that I regretted with my first instinct. But number one, the first thing that I'm gonna talk about is, so when I'm solo traveling, obviously I'm alone, so I'm a little bit more hesitant and like I'm trying to play it safe because I'm alone. First of all, I don't want people to know I'm alone. And secondly, I don't want to be taken advantage of, blah, 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 which there are some stories that I have that I'm going to be talking about in the next live, which are horrifying stories from my year of solo travel. And I'm going to be talking all about those. But that being said, I do have to be safe. You know, I'm a female solo traveler in places that I've never been, so I have to be really safe. But one of my regrets is kind of playing it a little bit too safe and not meeting people or branching out. So whenever I meet someone, they could have the best intentions. Like they could just want to chat with me, do whatever, hang out, they might not have bad intentions, but I'm super guarded because I'm just a little bit, playing it safe. I'm alone. So there are a few times that I wish I would have like just let my guard down a little bit and just gone with the flow and let the good experiences happen. So I don't know, like for example, when I was traveling, I rarely got a hostel. Mainly what I did was just get Airbnbs and stayed there by myself. So like the people that I met were like my Airbnb hosts or some people I met on excursions, but I never got a hostel to meet people, because there are hostels, you can meet a whole bunch of people and that's where they usually go to meet people and travel with them. I didn't do that a ton. So that's a regret I have. Like some people say, oh, like tell me all the people that you met on your travels. And I have a few, obviously, like a few good stories, but I was a little bit guarded. So I didn't meet as many people as I wish I would have. But that being said, the next time that I'm on a big travel adventure with someone, I will feel a lot safer to be able to, go out and meet people and take some more risks. So that's number one, and I think that will sort of set the scene for the rest of my regrets. Okay, let's see what else. Okay. Okay. I regret a meal. There is this, okay, so Bologna, Italy. I was in Bologna, Italy, And that apparently has some of the best food in the entire world. Like specifically Bologna, Italy has some of the best food in the entire world, in all of Italy and in the entire world. So when I was going to Bologna, I was like, I'm so excited to eat. I'm going to try all these things. And let me tell you what happened. So I'm in Bologna, I'm alone, and I have this app called the Michelin app. So it tells you all the Michelin recommended restaurants and Michelin like star 1, 2, 3 stars in your area. So I found Michelin recommended. I guess I'm not really going to Michelin starred restaurants yet. Maybe in the future, but not yet. But so I went to a Michelin recommended restaurant in Bologna, and I'm really excited about it. I book it at like 9 p.m. because they eat super late in Italy, and I eat at like 5 or 6 p.m. But I'm in Italy. I'm gonna book it, and I'm gonna go. And obviously I'm alone, so I go to this restaurant. I actually walk by it during the day, and it's not open, but it's because it's open till later. So I'm like, that's a great sign. That's a really good sign that it's not open until later. But I get there, and I'm not gonna lie, the biggest disappointment ever. The meal was bad. It was horrible. Like, I could make better tortellini than this place. Like, I got like a meat, and then I got the tortellini, which is what Bologna is famous for. Like the Emilia Romagna region, or this region, is famous for their tortellini. So it's like a cheese tortellini that you can get here in the United States in like the packets. Like, they're pretty good, like cheese tortellini. This place, it was Alfredo sauce with tortellini, not al dente. Like, the Alfredo sauce wasn't even good. Like, I expected it to be so flavorful and so good. And the meat, I think I ordered chicken, and I think they gave me pork. Like, I couldn't even tell what the meat was. So, hard regret. So, obviously, yes, I regret that meal, but the bigger regret that is also going to be a tip for you guys if you guys are going to be going to Bologna is, so after posting the Bologna video, I have a video, 2 Bologna videos explaining my experience, and you can go watch them. It's some vlogs that I have. But after I posted that, a bunch of people commented saying the best food in Bologna is not in the city center. You have to like leave the city to actually get the really amazing food. And they said in the comments, we have some of the best food in the entire world, but you have to leave the city. So what I regret is not researching more before I went to Bologna. Because when you're traveling, you don't want to regret a meal. That's horrible, because you only have so many meals when you're in these places, and everyone counts. So anyway, so my main regret from Bologna is not researching where I should have eaten beforehand, but thankfully the people in the comments told me. So when I go back, I will definitely be doing some research and go outside of the city instead of in the city center. Okay. What else? Okay, I have to sneeze. 1 sec. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so I have a few more regrets. A couple of them happened in Malta, which, if you watched my previous video, is one of my all-time favorite countries ever. However, though I did have a ton of fun in Malta, I still have a few regrets. Okay, I'll tell you them. Here we go. Okay, so in the previous video, my favorites video, I told you that one of my favorite people I met was a girl I met in Malta. We were both solo traveling, and we were both on a specific tour, the Underground Valletta tour. And so we both realized that we were solo traveling, so we chatted, and we ended up hanging out that night, which was super fun, super enjoyable. But then, so this is where the regret comes in. I regret not hanging out with her again. So we ended up planning to hang out again like a couple days later when we were still in Malta, and she was going to be hanging out with all of her hostel friends that she met, and I didn't go. Oh, I regret it. I literally still regret it to this day. And I think I knew I was even going to regret it, but I was exhausted. And so I just watched Stranger Things in bed at my hotel, at my Airbnb, instead of going to hang out with her. And I always will regret that, probably because I could have met so many other cool people. And so anyway, I'm sad. I'm sad. I could have made more memories, and alas, I just sat in my bed and watched Stranger Things. But sometimes you need that. Okay, so my next. Okay, I have a couple more regrets from Malta. Number one is not reserving ahead of time the Hypogeum in Malta. That is one of the coolest, most mysterious, prehistoric places. It's like an underground, super crazy thing, prehistoric monument underground in Malta. And my plan was to go to Malta to create a prehistory documentary, which I did. And one of the main things to go see is the Hypogeum. I didn't know, but you need to reserve it like multiple weeks ahead of time. So by the time I got there, it was reserved for the entire time that I was going to be there. So I didn't get to go see the Malta Hypogeum. Lesson there. If you are planning, I'm super for like traveling spontaneously. I think that's one of the best ways to do it. But honestly, I learned that you should plan a little bit because there are going to be things that you're going to miss out on if you don't plan. So I'm an Aries, and so obviously I'm not a planner. I do things spontaneously and intensely, but there are some benefits to planning. So especially if it's like prehistoric sites or things that book up, like the catacombs of Paris, you need to book those ahead of time. Anyway, that's that. I will be going back to Malta to visit the Hypogeum. Okay, there's another thing in Malta that I wish I would have gone to. Okay. Okay. Malta is an island in between Tunisia, Africa, and Sicily. And one of the Bible stories in the Bible, Paul, who used to be Saul, and his name changed to Paul when he had the experience with Jesus. So Paul, he wrote Corinthians, a whole bunch of things. The famous Paul. His boat crashed on the island of Malta. And so there are a bunch of miracles that occurred on the island of Malta from Paul. And there's a cave, which is now a church, that Paul stayed in for like 3 months while his boat was crashed on the island of Malta. And I did a little bit of research, so I found that out. And I went to go to this chapel. It's now a chapel, but it's like in a cave, and it's where he stayed where Paul stayed for 3 months to, while his boat was crashed. And it's in Rabat, which is a town on the island of Malta. And I went to that church, and I was gonna go, and experience that, but I was like 3 minutes late, and they had already closed. And I was so bummed. I was so bummed that the chapel had already closed. And so a couple days, I was planning on going back, like a couple days later, because I was like, I'm going to be in Malta for 10 days. I could go back. And so I planned on going back, and I never did. And I'm so bummed because it would have been so cool. So that's one of my huge regrets. But I want to give you a little bit more information about that. So the Apostle Paul was shipwrecked near what is known as St. Paul's Island in 59 AD, and it's said to be, he stayed in, now they call it St. Paul's Grotto in Rabat in Malta. Isn't that cool? Oh, and on here it says it's called St. Paul's Islands, but it's the island of Malta. It's Malta, so I'm not sure where they got that. But I have another, let me go to the other one. There's like a really interesting miracle that occurred on the island of Malta. The snake bite. Okay, so the miracle of St. Paul in Malta involved his immunity to a venomous snake bite and the miraculous healing of Publius' father and other sick people. That established Christianity on the island of Malta. So I just think that's so cool to me. Like being able to go to an island, and that's in the Bible, and that's where he was for 3 months. I don't know. It was just awesome. So I really wish I would have been able to go into St. Paul's Grotto. But that means I just have to go back. Okay. I have a couple more regrets, and my last regret, I'm going to tell you a couple more, but my last one is about Albania, and that one is a big deal. So please stay to the end of this video so I can tell you about my Albania regret. Okay. But before, so this was in Paris, and I love Paris. It's one of my favorite cities. But when I was there recently, I booked a train to go to the place where Joan of Arc was tried and murdered. Not murdered. What's the word? She was tried for like treason or whatever, and then she was murdered. So what do you call that? Death sentenced? Okay, let me look it up. I should have done this before. Saint Joan of Arc. Where did she die? Died where? Oh, Rouen. Rouen. Yes, Rouen. Rouen, France. She was found to be a heretic, and that's where she was sentenced to death. So I booked a train. I was like planning all the places I was going to make super cool videos, and so I planned to go to Rouen because it was just a train ride away from Paris. I bought the train ticket, and the next day it was like for like 6 a.m. The train was like for 6 a.m. And so I wake up at 5 a.m. I go walk to the train station, and I could not figure it out. The train station, there was no place to buy the ticket. There was no entrance. Like, I have no idea what happened. But it must have been because it was early. I know I was missing something but I went to the train station. There was no place to buy the ticket. Like, when I was in the kiosk, there was no place to buy the ticket, and there's no entrance. So I was just seriously so confused, very confused. And I speak French. Like, I almost have I'm in pursuit of my master's of French. I only have a year left, and so I couldn't figure it out. So I was just very, very bummed that I didn't get to go to Rouen, only because I know I'm going to get to go to Rouen again. But I didn't get to make my awesome video. I was going to make the coolest video, like connecting what happened to Joan of Arc to modern times, the process, the court process, because there are some things that are going on with the court process now that is totally corrupt, and it should be changed. But I was gonna bye, love you. Okay. Okay, love you too. Bye bye. My mom is getting her hair done. But anyway, I just regret not being able to make that video, and I hope someday that I'll be able to go back to Rouen and make the video. Okay, let's see. I think I have just one more regret. I don't know how long we've been going for. I hope it's working. I seriously hope. I don't know how. Okay, I don't know how to know. I don't know how to know. Okay, so yeah, not researching food better in Bologna. Hypogeum. Okay. Last but not least. So, Albania. I regret Albania so much. Albania was one of the countries I was so excited to go to, and I had been traveling Europe for like a month, and we get to Albania, and I'm in a hostel. So I did stay at a hostel one time, and it was a bad hostel. It was not good at all. And honestly, in my horror stories video that I'm going to be doing next, I'm going to tell you the horrible story that starts in Albania and goes all the way to Paris and goes all the way back to the USA. Okay, so if you want to watch my other lives, you should subscribe and then hit the notification bell, because then it'll tell you when I'm going live. Anyway, so I regret a lot about Albania. Once I was in Albania, I was very tired because I'm working remotely when I'm traveling. I'm planning where I'm going to stay, transportation to where I'm going to stay, the activities I'm going to do when I'm staying there, and then also the videos that I'm going to make, and then I have to edit them and film them and make a cohesive story. Like, it's hard, okay? It's not for the faint of heart. Luckily, I love it, and I loved every second of it, but what I'm saying is, by the time I got to Albania, after going to all these cities, I went to so many cities, and then I got to Albania, and I was exhausted. I was behind on my work. I hadn't been posting videos. I was exhausted. And so there were so many things I wanted to do in Albania, and I didn't get to do them. There's like this really awesome, like, prehistoric pyramid structure. I think it's in Bosnia, but like there's a lot of myths with it, and they don't really know if it's a natural made structure or if it's a man-made, if it's natural or if it's man-made. And if it's a man-made, then that just opens a whole new can of worms, and it's just really interesting and really exciting. And I wanted to go there and sort of get the feel for myself, if it was man-made, if it was natural, but I didn't get to. And because I was way too tired and exhausted, and I couldn't. And so then there's another thing. There was like a day trip of going to, what's it called? Herzegovina, something like that. I forget it. But there are like three countries that are right next to each other in the Baltics, like Bosnia, Albania, Herzegovina. I'm totally saying that wrong. I can't remember. But anyway, there was a day trip where you got to go to all three of them, and I just couldn't make that happen either. I could not make that happen. So I have a lot of regrets about Albania, and I have got to go back. I only explored Durrës, which was cool, and it was a great experience, but it could be better. So I have to go back to Albania. I have to go back to Albania. Has anyone been to Albania? Apparently, there are parts of Albania that have like some of the best beaches ever, like as good as Greece, but it's a lot cheaper and there's a lot less people. So, anyway, I think those are all the regrets that I have from my year of solo traveling. I'm sure there's more, but those are the ones that came to mind immediately. So this is my second live that I've ever done, and I'm gonna do 2 to 3 per week. So if you're interested in any of my videos, actually all of those stories that I told you, I have vlogs about on my channel. So just scroll through and find them, and so you can get visuals to my stories. But I think that's about it. That's all I have for today. And thank you so much for watching my live. You guys are the best. And comment, because if you're on the live when I'm live, I can see your comments and then I can respond. So that would be really fun. I could get to know you guys more. And that's why I love YouTube and subscribers, is because you get to connect with people that have similar interests as you. So, okay, I'm going to end there. But thank you so much for watching.